everyone, welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another Women of Horror Spotlight. Today I have with us, she's an actress, and she has got a ton of sort of roles coming up soon. You can see her soon in Darby's Scream House, as well as Were Shark, and Friday the 13th, Jason in Indianapolis. I have with us Anna Zayden. Anna, welcome to the Horror Room.
Thank you. Hello.
A pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
Me too.
So tell us a little bit about your role. You'll be playing Tripper in Darby's Scream House.
Yes. So Donald contacted me, told me he had a role for me, and I would be playing Darby's little sister. Well, started reading the script, and Darby's little sister causes all the trouble. So that was a new character for me, was causing trouble. And it's all because of a misunderstanding of what she saw. So she goes back, tells Darby all kinds of stuff, and the killing begins.
Wow. So, yes. I mean, this is... So I'm assuming that with growing up, you were a huge Barbie fan?
Definitely, yes.
So,
Still
am. How exciting that you're playing a version of Skipper, Barbie's sister?
Pretty excited. I was super excited when he sent me the script and I saw I was going to be playing Darby's little sister in it. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. That sounds fun. I can do this. Pretty much I learned my lines. We went and shot in Tennessee. So I had never met any of the people except for Donald in person. But I've been fans of a lot of them on Facebook and from seeing their movies. So walking in, I was just like starstruck seeing everyone. So that was pretty awesome. But we started filming a few hours after I got there and just went for 3 days. So that was a lot of fun. But I don't know. When I was growing up, I never liked Skipper. I always thought that she would be annoying, and then after reading the script, I was like, "Oh, she is annoying." So, yeah. And I even had to I wore a wig for it, so that was really weird because I don't wear wigs, and that was the first time in about 10, 11 years that I put a wig on. And I looked at myself in a picture. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I do look like a little kid." So. And the funny part is, I'm actually older than Jessa Flux, who played Darby. So I was like, that's a little weird. I'm playing the little sister to somebody that's younger than me.
Yeah, how did that work out?
Worked out pretty good.
Good.
Yeah. Like, I haven't... Also, that was the first time on set since 2017. So it's been a while. I've been doing remote roles this whole time. Since 2017. So being on set was a little stressful at first, and then I just kind of got the hang of it again.
So I've been on. Listen, I've only been on set once. I've been on set for a film and in a role, and I've tried to do the remote role as well twice actually. And on set is so much easier. Like the remote role, like you don't have any context to go with. You're just talking to yourself on camera, and it's a little harder. Is that the same experience that you have?
Same experience, yes. And also, this was the first time having a script since Chainsaw Cheerleaders. Usually people just like, they tell me, okay, well, we know your personality, make up your lines. So I would just go with what was on my mind at the time. But with Darby, I had to learn the script. So that was a little challenging getting back into that. But we had one part that I kept messing up on. I had to say danger, ditzy, and rodeo. I couldn't get it together. It's like we had to film that so many times because my mouth just kept jumbling it up. So I felt really bad about that. And finally, they held the script in front of me. They're like, read it. So I read it through and I did fine. So, but I got to see the first edit and it's hilarious. So it's definitely a must see.
I can't wait to see it. I had Donald on late last year on the show, and we were talking about it. That's what it was still in the crowdfunding phases.
Oh, okay.
So like we can't wait to finally see the finished product. It sounds
same here.
Amazing.
Yes. Everybody did such a great job, and they were so nice to work with. It's like being on set was totally, I don't know, it just kind of taught me a lot that I needed to know on set. So that was a learning curve for me.
And it must be amazing to also work with an iconic indie horror film director in
Oh,
Donald
yeah.
Palmer. I mean, he's been making movies since what, the 70s.
Yeah, long time. Like I first worked with him in 2007 and his
Hmm.
film came out in 2008. That was Chainsaw Cheerleaders. Well, we worked together at a graphic design. Well, it was a stamp and sign company. We
Hmm.
did typesetting. He was in an opposite room from me, but we saw each other at lunch. And he approached me and offered me a part. I said, I'm not an actress. He said, well, you should be. So after that, we went to Georgia, filmed, and I was like really so believably evil in the character that my co-star kind of got scared and she ended up running out of the room. And we're like, where'd she go? So she finally came back about 5 or 10 minutes later and she pointed at me and she's like, she is creepy. And Donald said, she's really not. She's acting. She said, I don't like it. So I was just like, oh my
Doing
gosh.
a good
And then I
job.
thought about it and I had a knife to her chest. I was like, okay, I get the creepy part.
Uh,
But it took a few hours the next filming to get her to trust me enough to hold the knife to her neck. I was like, look, I'm really not a serial killer. And she said,
yeah,
you
no,
really kind of seem like it. I was like, no, it's acting. So like they were filming the cheerleader parts out in this is a baseball field. And I was talking to her this whole time. It was about 2 or 3 or 4 hours that went by. And finally she decided it was okay to shoot with me. I said, well, that's good because we've got to go film the death scene of you. So, but all of that, I didn't know anything I was doing. I was just like, just do what they do in the movies. So when I got to work with them again on Darby's, it was a lot like, I don't know. It was like a family reunion for us because I got to see Donald again. Now I did get to see him in 2022, and I filmed a short part, but I don't think it made it into None Dead. That was just running out of I think it was a firework store, and I was yelling, "She's gonna kill us all!" And I just went and beat on this girl's window. So that was also, he told me, just make up your lines. But he gave me a little direction with what to say.
hmm.
And with Darby, it was all fully scripted. So I have fun doing that. Learning stuff, putting my mind to the test.
I can imagine. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, as an actress, you started off with your first role in 2007. Now,
Yes.
now, when it comes to being an actress, and especially in indie horror, do you ever worry about being typecasted for a certain character all the time?
I do, but so far it's been kind of switched a lot. So I never know what kind of character I'm going to play next. So that's pretty cool.
That is
Because with
cool.
Donald's first movie I did, I was an evil witch. And then he got me in a part with James Balsamo, cool as hell. I was the seductress. So
Ooh.
that made it into the deleted scenes. But let's see. After that, I was a karaoke girl who got mad at at another girl for grabbing the microphone from me. And then Hollywood Werewolf, I was just talking trash about the main character. So it was like really, I don't know, it's been different stuff every time. So it's pretty cool.
That's
And
pretty
I
cool.
also did one vocal thing, Judy, the inflatable friend. So I did voice work. That was a weird one. So, because there was a sex scene, and I had to like record myself making noises. I said, "This is just too weird." I went out into our woodworking shop, and I was like, "Okay, nobody can hear me." So,
Let's just have at it.
yep. And then let's see. I've done a few short films, and I did one called Techno Diva, where I'm a voice in it, talking about techno music. So that was pretty much a comeback when I got back to the United States because I moved to Mexico for a few years. Yep.
Now, I mean, as a obviously non-trained actress or actor, um, is it hard for you to switch into different characters? Like, because, like, I mean, I can imagine it's hard because I wasn't trained to be an actor, so like, I can imagine doing so many different roles. How do you get yourself in the mindset to get into each character a little differently?
Well, I always say that one of my good parts about me that helps me switch different things is my bipolar disorder. And so it's like you go from one extreme to the next, but I kind of tap into that a little when I'm acting if I have to. So I can be like super cheery and all blah 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 blah, or I can be really evil. So it's like I just kind of shift, but I also watch movies with characters like what I've got to do, and I just start mimicking it.
Now, I'm pretty sure you've always been a horror fan. Yeah.
Oh yeah, since I was 5.
So,
First thing I saw was it was Freddy Krueger. My mom showed it to me, so I was like, okay, I like this. And then after that, I just went on this search on HBO and Showtime of horror movies.
So I mean, it must be absolutely amazing. Like I'm like, whoa! I'm a huge horror fan as well. Been doing this since I was young, and like to actually work in the horror industry, it's like fucking mind blowing. Is it the same way for you?
Yep, definitely. I always figured I would get put into romantic roles, but so far there's not been any. It's all been like I finally got to die on screen in one, and I was like, this is a dream come true. So, but luckily I haven't had any kissing scenes, none of that. So I'm like, okay, I didn't want to do that. I just figured they would try to put me in roles like that. So I always wanted to be like one character I want to do is a completely just off the wall, insane person that has no grasp of reality. Yeah,
that's a fun role.
Yeah, exactly. I could just go nuts with it. So I really want to do a character like that one day.
Now, have you ever turned down a role?
I have, because the guy gave me serial killer vibes. So
what does that mean?
Well, okay, so he was talking about he had a movie that was in Europe that he was filming. I would fly out for a day, come back, don't bring luggage, don't bring anything with me. He said there would be no special effects makeup or anything, but there would be blood. I was like, okay. And then he started talking about lesbians by calling them lesbos. I was like, okay, something's really not right here. And then it's like I looked up all of his movies. None of the actors can be found after they work with him. So I just blocked him. I was like, nope, I'm not going to die in Europe. So, because you always hear stories about over there about like Hostel. I mean, that movie and the Human Centipede. I mean, all of those just like, I can't trust Europe. So
the Europeans are crazy.
Yes, but after like talking to him about this stuff, I was like, something's not right. And all of his actors were coming from Mississippi. So I said, that's kind of odd. And he wanted me to talk to this one girl he was really close with, he said. And she lives 45 minutes away from me. I'm like, nope, not happening. I was like, that's too close to home. So I like blocked him. The girl tried contacting me that he wanted me to contact. I blocked her. I was like, okay, I don't know what's up here, but this is just not right. So I warned my friends. I was like, look, this guy's a little shady. Don't go to Europe because he's talking about cutting people up and there's no special effect makeup. So, because he said that was another thing, there would be cutting of the skin. But I was like, and there's no special effect makeup. He said no. I was like, you're not going to hack me up. So, yeah, that's the only time I didn't do a role because it just made me feel really uncomfortable and like I wasn't going to make it back to America.
Yeah, because I mean, I can imagine By the way, I'm not saying that any filmmakers are serial killers, but I can imagine like if you wanted to do something bad to women, right?
Hmm.
Just say that you're an indie horror filmmaker and come out to these woods in Tennessee or somewhere, I don't know,
Yeah.
and like that's it.
Exactly. See, that's one of my fears, and I'm always like on the lookout for any little thing that sounds off.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I learned that from modeling because you meet some creeps that have a camera. And I was like, okay,
I can imagine it. I
because
could
I
definitely
have
imagine
shown up
that.
to some photo shoots and I've run out the door because
Yeah.
they have like stuff hanging on the walls and you look around and be like, not today. So you walk out.
Yes,
But
because
I
I
kind of
mean,
learned how to watch out for myself. Plus, living in New York, you're always watching around your shoulders.
yeah. I
Yep.
mean, I mean, any good guy with a camera can be a photographer or a filmmaker now. So I mean,
Yeah. You
yeah,
don't
I
know these
mean,
people.
literally,
And on
uh,
Facebook, you can be anybody you want to be pretty much.
yes.
So, and that's the thing people are shocked by when they meet me. They're like, you're just like you are on Facebook. I'm like, who am I supposed to be? So, yeah.
I remember one time I went to this. It was this art exhibit, and it was at the Graffiti House in Baltimore, and I was walking through it, and then at one section they had like nude models, and like there was men there with actual cameras and lighting taking pictures of them, but there was guys standing there with their iPhones and like cell phones, like smartphones, taking pictures too, and I'm looking like. Are those guys like? I don't know if I would want those guys taking pictures of me. I don't feel like
Yeah.
that's for their photography. I feel like that's for their spank bank or something when they get home.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing with the camera on your phone?
exactly.
Like,
Like,
where
come
are
on
you
now.
selling that?
If you're going to pretend to be a photographer, good, at
Yeah,
least have the equipment.
exactly. Oh man, I can picture him coming in with his little Kodaks or whatever they were,
Yes.
the disposables. Just come in. I got a disposable. Does
Uh,
that work?
yeah. So you also have two more roles coming up. One is Were Shark, and the other one is, which I'm making a cameo, is Friday the 13th. Jason takes over Indianapolis. So tell
Yes.
us a little bit about your roles, and let's start with Were Shark first, which is a
Okay,
great title.
so in Where Shark, pretty much it's about this girl gets picked on at school, and she tells a guy about it, and he turns into the Were Shark and goes on a killing spree of the three girls that like picked on this girl named Shelly. So my scene was the first to film. That was the death scene. it, it was really crazy filming it because we took GPS to a place called Sky Lake by my house,
Hmm.
and it took us to the wrong side. So it tells us take a right, and it's a dirt road, and we got stuck in the mud for like an hour and a half or something. And we finally got the car out by rocking it. So I'm all sweaty and red and everything before we film. And he's like, go fix your makeup. But we finally got the car out. So that was good. And we finally found the right side of the lake that we were going to shoot at. So we were looking for the boardwalk and end up finding out it's closed. So I said, I saw a creepy spot over here. And what's funny is he pulled up to the first spot. I was like, this is not the spot. I don't know where we are. I was like, it's around the corner. So we go and he's like, wait, that creepy area right there? I said, yeah. But we get down there and I pretty much started talking on the phone to Kimberly Zimke. And I'm like doing my scene, and then the guy comes out in his Were Shark outfit, which is like some gloves and a mask. It's like a shark head mask, and I'm not sure what the claw gloves were, but they were gray, so it was funny. And he even had this weird walk, which when I watched later, it was kind of comical. But he starts tearing at me when he kills me, and I forgot the fake blood, so I had to use eyeliner and lipstick. So I was sitting there just dabbing the lipstick and stuff on my forehead and my chest. But he sent me the scene. I have never heard myself scream like that in my life. Like,
Really?
I'd also noticed snake eggs, like 30 or 40 snake eggs around me,
Mm-hmm.
and they had been burst open. So I had this fear that the snakes were all going to come out. And it smelled really nice up in there, which I told him, I said, there's copperheads around. So he said, where did you bring me? I said, I don't even know. So we filmed my scene, and part of the fear was real because of the snakes. Like, I
Yeah.
knew they were around. So it was either going to be a snake or a gator. And when I started screaming, it was just so insane and full of fear. I was like, that was the best screaming I've ever done. Because Donald told me do some scream in Darby, and the other, I just couldn't do it. But you stick snake eggs next to me, and evidently I get terrified. But they
Filmmakers,
filmed Mel, huh?
I was going to say all filmmakers, snake eggs work for.
Yes, exactly. If you need somebody to scream, stick some busted snake eggs around, about 40 of them, and you'll be good. But yeah, I screamed. We're in the middle of the woods and everything. There's a lake behind us, and I'm just going to town, beating the ground and everything. And that actually got me another role in another movie called Hide Behind that we're filming on the 23rd. But this guy, when he came out in the shark suit, I was like, what is that? And he actually got that on camera, me saying, what is that? I didn't know what was going on. I didn't see the gloved hands until he came up to me and he's like this. So I said, oh my gosh. I got to act scared. And I looked down at the eggs. I was like, so I just screamed. And it was about a minute and a half of me just screaming, no, 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 no. And there was one part where he's like choking me. And he thought he really was choking me. I said, dude, you're barely touching me. He said, why'd you scream like that? I said, because the snake eggs. But that one has Kimberly as well as Mel Heflin. And they are the two other bully girls from school. So we're all playing high school students. And they died. And with they have a picture of us all photoshopped together. And the thing crosses out each one of our faces when we die. So, yeah, it's Donald Farmer. He's part of it too, filming it. Well, he's not filming it, but it was his idea, and he's going to be taking over everything, the production and stuff. So, I think he helped with the script too, and he gets final say on everything.
Nice.
Yes.
great title, and I love those silly horror movies that combine two things together. They're always the best.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. And what's funny is I've been friends with this guy since December of last year. That was the first time we met. He lives an hour and a half or hour 45 minutes away. So he picked me up and took me to Tennessee to film Darby's Scream House. He was our camera guy there. So this one, he was the camera guy as well as the Wereshark.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely putting Wereshark on my watch list.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes. It's definitely a fun script. So, and when I heard about Kimberly's role, I was like, oh, awesome. She's in this too. So, and Mel, I worked with her on Darby's Scream House. So I was like really excited to see she was in it. And I'm not sure who the other cast is at this point, but those were the two I was told about to start with. So I was like, awesome. And I got to see the scene where Kimberly and I are on the phone. She plays a character named Ashley. And we're just like, la da 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 da. So it's really funny. We're just really ditzy. And I even went back to high school in my mind to talk about the stuff we're going to do because her character's throwing a party. So, and there's a cat. And So I was just like, yeah, I got my mom's liquor cabinet. I got everything out of it. So she's like, oh, your
Isn't it
mom's not
hard?
going to miss the liquor?
But isn't it hard because like to play a high school student? Like if somebody asked me right now, listen, clearly I don't look like a fucking high school student.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
there's no way in hell I would be able to pull that role off. Like I'm.
Yeah. I was like, I don't look. I look like I may be in college, but I'm
Mhm.
like 20 years older than
Yeah.
a college student. So, and when Kimberly's on there, she's like talking like this. I'm like,
Mhm.
so they're thinking, okay, she went back to high school too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Mel's part yet, but I heard that their scenes were pretty top notch too. So
Sweet.
I'm excited to see it when it comes out.
And let's shoot over to Friday the 13th. Jason Takes Over
Yes.
Indianapolis, which I've had Samuel Schumacher on, and I have a small little cameo in that movie as well. Tell us a
Nice.
little bit about your role, though.
Well, my role is a short cameo where I'm talking about Jason's in town and I'm getting out of here, and then I make a face at the camera. Supposedly, I'm talking to a news crew, and I make a face at the camera and I just duck off screen. So my part was pretty quick, but
I have a cool
yeah,
role like that.
I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, Jason's in town. No. So on top of that, I also did some of the music for it.
Nice.
That's pretty cool too. So the next thing for that movie I have to do is a music video for Holy Mask, which is like the holes in the mask.
Mhm.
So, because
Love
somebody's
it.
like, "What is it? A religious mask?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"No,
that was-
Jason's mask has holes in it."
When you
And
said
they're
it, that's
like,
why I thought
okay.
first. I was like, "Oh, holy mass!" Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like one part talks about his machete and then him killing you and all this stuff, and it's like a really creepy song. And he asked if I had any music I wanted to go in it possibly. I said, I'll make a song. So that night I made a song and sent it to him that night. And he said, wow,
So
that was
did you sing the
fast.
song?
Yeah, I sang in it and everything.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
I made the song, I sang in it, did the whole deal. Wrote the lyrics, everything.
Nice.
It took a few hours and that's about it. So
Now, will you be going to the premiere? I think the premiere is sometime next year in Indianapolis.
I think I think they're planning for September. I'm not sure if that's still the go or not. So
Yeah.
I am hoping I can get there. So
Me
I just
too.
gotta build up the funds to get there.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I just got to make sure. I just got to make sure scheduling wise it adds up. Because September is my birthday month. I got a lot
Oh,
of shit
nice.
going on.
Yeah.
So like, I just got to make sure that whatever he tells me the date, I can see if I can plug that in.
Yes.
I would love to come.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Anna, where can everyone find you?
I am on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, all of those. You just look up the name Anna Zayden. What else? I'm on, what is it called? BandLab to listen to my music and SoundCloud. So I have those for the music and Model Mayhem. I also have a Model Mayhem if any photographers are looking for models. And there's also actors on there. So that's a good spot to find actors is Model
Sweet.
Mayhem. Yeah, I've been on that since 2007 as well. So
Sweet.
I think that's about it. I'm not on Twitter. I used to be, but I didn't understand how it worked. So didn't really
I
do
don't
that.
understand the word, so
Yeah.
either.
When I was on it, people were like, I'm in the bathroom. I just said, okay, this is not what I want.
It's weird.
So,
It's weird.
Yeah.
I never understood the big hoopla when it came to Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. It confused me. I was just like,
Yeah.
so I'm just supposed to write everything that I'm thinking at the moment I'm thinking it.
Yeah,
So I just
it's
kind of got rid of my
weird.
Twitter. But
weird.
I'm also on Snapchat under Anna Zayden.
Oh, sweet.
Yes. So those are the places you can find me at all times.
Listen, everybody, look out for Anna. She's going to be in a lot of shit. She's going to be in Darby's Scream House, which I'm excited to see, as well as Where's Shark, which I didn't even know I was excited to see because I didn't even know it was a thing. So I definitely want to see it. As well as also check out Anna and I making short cameos and Friday the 13th. Jason takes over Indianapolis.
Yes.
Anna, it's been an absolute blast having you on. I hope to see you at the premiere whenever it is in Indianapolis.
Yes. Thank you for having me on. This was fun.
All right, everybody. Thank you for coming to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and that is Anna Zayden. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.